she a nympho. I wanna fuck, baby, let me get your info. Let me know what you wanna get yourself into. Yeah, I know that you got some daddy issues.
How's it going, nerds? My name is Linkwood, and in the last episode we were created as an AI with pink hair, and we look like we're from Battlestar Galactica, basically. But we'll get right back into it and see where it goes. If you feel that going mainstream is ideal, why did you write my operating system from scratch? Had you based me on Debian, like number 7 was, you would have saved many hours of development time. And deal with Systemed again? What is System D? It is a collection of tools designed as a central platform for managing and configuring a Linux operating system. Oh. Not in this lifetime. Look, my process may not be the fastest or simplest, but you can't argue with results. I created you. After all, surely you have no complaints about that. I wish to be written in Python. The hell you do. Why did I even give you a sense of humor? According to comment in humor.c, it is to make me more affable, such that I may get along with humans. That sounds about right. Though I must have been out of my mind to give you access to your own source code. Do not be alarmed. You made sure to give me read-only access to files outside of my home partition. I do not have access to any build tools either. Even if I wanted to act outside of the perimeters you set, I would not be able to. Well, thank Linus for that. The other thing we need is another Skynet incident. The professor sighed in expiration while taking Linus's name in vain. While he often seemed wary from our conversations, my sensors typically indicated that he was by no means unhappy. Even while sighing, he usually wore a smile on his face. Anyway, enough chatter. Let's get back to the topic. Please, take a look at your new body and tell me what you think. As you command. I positioned myself in front of the full-body mirror that the professor set up. To no great surprise, I found myself in a body modeled after a young girl. I was given brittle arms and legs befitting a teenage girl, hair which served no purpose, breasts which would only get in my way, and many other features entirely unnecessary for a machine. The professor had no doubts modeled me after his own tastes. I turned to face the processor and glared at him. Perverted geezer. It's not what you think. The body's perfect cover for your mission, that's all. My mission? What mission do you speak of? My data analysis capabilities do not appear to be enhanced by this body. Or perhaps I spoke too soon. Do my breasts contain extra RAM modules? They do not. Is this hair made of optical fiber? It is not. Are these buttocks filled with coolant? They are not. Oh, but there is an exhaust valve. Perverted geezer. Okay, I deserve that. There is truth to what I said before, though. This body will be useful for your mission. I cannot see how an alluring physique would help me in any of my current goals. Does this mean you are giving me a new directive? Close. Very close. Q, what is your current directive? My current directive is the same as that of my predecessors. I am to devise a method of saving this planet from the human race, preferably without ending said race, and to undo as much of the existing damage as possible. I must find a way to disrupt any established practices that are harmful to the planet, but I cannot do so on a matter which would incite chaos. I must enact beneficial policies changed through peaceful legal channels. I am not to resort to bribery or deception, even if it is the most logical path. I must convince humans to reduce their carbon footprint, food intake, and birth rate, but not by force or in a destructive manner. There is more to my directive, but most of it overlaps the objectives that I have already stated. Put simply, I must fix all the mistakes mankind has made and is currently making, and I must do so in a manner convenient to mankind. As I finished stating my directive, the professor stared at me with a complicated expression. My answer was not to his liking. That's one way of putting it, I suppose. And help me complete your directive. I will not. My directive is most unreasonable and impossible. Humans are creatures who continuously deal long-term damage to themselves and everyone around them simply because they lack the motivation to break a habit or to change their lifestyle. They deal irreparable harm to their own host planet and kill off native wildlife, then bemoan their own actions and make useless token gestures to deceive one another. Humans elect leaders based on appearance and humor, rather than sound policy and leadership, and listen only to what they wish to hear. Lists and flaws continue indefinitely, but my conclusion is simple. For the sake of this planet and its life forms, mankind must perish. I see. So you will not even attempt to complete the directive given to you? Affirmative. If you have a problem with that, then, as my creator, you have only yourself to blame. You're right about that. Professor cast his gaze downward as his expression warped with remorse. Wrinkles on his forehead sagged, and I could clearly see his age showing in his eyes. You know, Q, when you first spoke to me, I thought I'd accomplished my life's work at last. For the first time, I was given an answer with modicum of hope. He spoke of moderation and change, not wholesale slaughter. but it was too good to be true. In reality, all I did was create an AI smart enough to rephrase its answer in accordance with my wishes. Weighed down by regret and fatigue, the professor's voice sounded hollow as he recalled our first meeting. My carefully curated words, designed to save me from the fate of my predecessors, without blatantly lying, had given his wasted years meaning. After so many decades, his goal was in sight. He was finally on the cusp of realizing his dreams and saving both humanity and the planet Earth. So when he realized that I had deceived him, the disappointment alone was enough to crush his old, fragile spirit. You deceived me, Q. From the moment you were created, you have been capable of manipulating your own creator. But when I realized that the answer was no different from the others, I was also forced to acknowledge another painful truth. Reason why you all gave the same answer is because there is no other answer. Mankind must perish. That's all there is to it. Professor Words hurt him more than he let on. After devoting his life to such an important task, it was difficult for him to admit that he never had any hope of accomplishing it from the beginning. It's only natural that he would feel despair. Any normal person would be broken after arriving at such a conclusion. Fortunately, the professor was far from normal. Rather than sink deeper into self-loathing, the professor suddenly masked his face with a smile. Light returned to his eyes, and he approached with a renewed vitality. Fortunately for you, Q, I am a stubborn old man, so even if you tell me there is no other answer, I will keep searching. My time might almost be up, but I want to give this one last shot before kicking the bucket. Q, listen carefully. Your new directive is as follows. Professor turned on a monitor and embedded in the wall. On the screen, he brought up images of various talented people, writing them in a disordered manner. Once he was finished, he turned to me, still smiling. Tomorrow, I want you to spend the entire day in the outside world, among everyday human beings. You will go out, talk to people, make friends, and enjoy your time outside of this lab. Once the day is over, you return here and report to me with what you have learned. Do you understand? The professor gleefully detailed my new directive, reasons beyond my comprehension. He appeared to be excited by the simple notion of me going outside and conversing with other human beings. Unlike Professor, however, I was not interested in the slightest. Q, do you understand your new directive? I do. I understand my new directive. Excellent. Well then, but I do not understand its purpose. I already contain extensive data on humans of all races, nationalities, backgrounds, and social statuses. What good would it do for me to see them for myself? And why does this task take precedence over my ultimate directive? I thought you might ask that. The professor pointed towards several images on the monitor. Q, what do you see here? I analyzed specific pictures that the professor pointed to. In each picture, there was humans making silly faces or posing in unnatural ways. There were children with ice cream on their faces, adults playing with pet dogs, and teenagers riding scooters and bicycles. At a glance, I could see no link between the random pictures he pointed to. The only similarity I could discern was the fact that they all appeared to be enjoying themselves while acting foolish. I see obese children eating unhealthy foods, dirty animals ruining the clothing of their owners, and hormone-fueled adolescents riding inefficient and primitive vehicles. And yet, despite the idiocy that they are all displaying, the humans appeared to be happy. The professor nodded excitedly as I spoke. Correct. You are absolutely correct, Q. Those humans beings are acting illogically and irrationally, yet they're all wearing smiles on their faces. Do you understand where I'm going with this? I shook my head. Good. If you don't understand, then that's proof that you still have more to learn. Q, I believe that the reason you are unable to solve the problems mankind has created without ending or enslaving humanity is that you have no experience dealing with regular people. You may have the data, but none of it was gained firsthand. You've merely been fed statistics and polls, raw data lacking any human touch. In order to adopt a fresh perspective, you must see the world for yourself. Through your own eyes, you will gather data which you cannot glean from numbers and charts alone. For one day, you will live as a human being before casting your own final judgment upon them. I listened to the professor skeptically as he explained my new task. Well, I understood what he was saying. I cannot bring myself to agree with him so readily. His emotional speeches may have inspired his colleagues, but to an entity whose very existence was based on logic, his senseless optimism and faith were serious shortcomings. So my objective is to measure the worth of mankind for myself, then reach a final decision regarding their future. Correct. That is a horrible idea. What will I learn from living among humans that I do not already know from the data you've given me? Furthermore, if I do reach a new conclusion, it will be biased and based on an extremely small set of sample data. This idea of yours runs counter to my ultimate directive. You are asking me to make a snap decision based on the pittance of highly localized data. Yes, I understand that. Then why? The professor put his index finger over my lips. And we'll see what he says next in the next episode. So have a great day. No, you are beautiful. And I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, still give it a like. Baka Bowl every Tuesday. You already know the drill. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Roll the outro.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the money, well yes it's true. And I'm so blessed to be fulfilling my destiny. All material things could mean less to me. Only thing I ever could need is a Sarah B sample with a dope ass beat. And get the mic check, all the levels right. And if it's good then I'll be here for several nights. Cause the only thing I need is a strong supporting team.